Welcome back to English Ascent Daily, my friends. I hope you are feeling good, and I hope you are ready to grow your English and your confidence with me. In this lesson, we are going to learn how to talk to anyone. Let me ask you something. Have you ever seen a new person and wanted to speak, but no first sentence came into your mind? Have you ever known the English words, but when the person looked at you, those words suddenly disappeared? Have you ever worried so much about grammar that you decided to say nothing? Maybe you started with, "How are you?" The other person said, "I am fine." And then both of you stood there, waiting for a miracle. Maybe you had a conversation that was actually normal, but later you went home and checked every sentence in your head. Why did I say that? Did I sound strange? Did they like talking to me? If any of this feels familiar, you are not alone. Many people want to connect, but they think they must first become confident, interesting, fluent, and perfect. Because of this, they keep waiting. But communication is not a performance, and another person is not an English examiner. A good conversation does not begin with perfect grammar. It begins when one person is brave enough to offer one simple, honest sentence. Talking to anyone does not mean that every person will become your best friend. It does not mean that you must be funny all the time or always know the right answer. It means you can enter a conversation without losing yourself. You can show interest, listen with care, share a little, handle a small silence, and leave in a respectful way. These skills can help you at school, at work, while traveling, in your neighborhood, at an event, or even during an online meeting. They can also help your English because real speaking teaches you something that a book cannot teach alone. It teaches you how to respond in the moment. In this video, we will learn 8 simple lessons. You will learn how to begin without waiting for confidence, how to use the place around you, how to ask questions that bring real answers, how to listen for useful details, and how to share without taking over the conversation. We will also learn what to say when your mind goes blank, how to speak with calm respect, and how to end a conversation without making it awkward. Stay with me until the end, because I will also give you a 7-day speaking challenge. You do not need a special class for this challenge. You only need a few minutes, a little courage, and a willingness to sound imperfect while you're improving. Lesson 1. Stop waiting to feel ready. Many people believe that one day confidence will arrive, and after that day, talking will become easy. They say, "When my English is better, I will speak. When I know more vocabulary, I will meet new people. When I lose my fear, I will start conversations." But confidence usually does not come before action. It grows after small actions. Think about learning to ride a bicycle. You cannot sit in a room, study balance for 6 months, and then expect your body to feel completely ready. At some point, you must sit on the bicycle and move. Speaking works in a similar way. You may feel nervous while you are doing it, but each small experience teaches your mind that conversation is not a danger. Your heart may beat faster. Your first sentence may not sound beautiful. That is okay. The goal of the first sentence is not to prove your intelligence. Its goal is only to open the door. You can say, "Hi, how is your day going?" You can say, "I don't think we have met before." You can say, "Is this your first time here?" Or you can simply smile and say, "Hello, I'm glad I came over to say hi." These lines are not amazing. That is exactly why they work. They are easy, friendly, and clear. There is also something interesting about the fear we feel after meeting people. Research has found that after a conversation, people often think the other person liked them less than they really did. In simple words, you may be judging yourself more strongly than the other person is judging you. While you are thinking, my answer was too short, the other person may be thinking, they seem nice. While you are worrying about one grammar mistake, they may not even remember it. This does not mean every conversation will go perfectly. Some people may be busy, tired, shy, or not ready to talk. Their short answer is not always a rejection of you. Do not turn one quiet moment into a story that says you are bad at communication. Take one slow breath. Relax your shoulders. Look at the person naturally, not like you are trying to read their secret thoughts, and offer one line. Start small. This week, do not make your goal, I will have an amazing conversation. Make your goal, I will begin one. That is enough. Remember this. Courage is not the moment when fear disappears. Courage is the moment when you speak, even though a little fear is still there. A simple sentence spoken today will build more confidence than 50 perfect conversations that only happen inside your imagination. Lesson 2. Use what is already around you. A common reason people become silent is that they try to find a very special topic. They search their mind for something clever, surprising, or impressive. Meanwhile, the other person is standing there and the silence is getting bigger. You do not need to invent a great topic. The place around you is already giving you material. You can use a simple three-part method. Notice something, make a short comment, and ask an easy question. Imagine you are waiting for a class to begin. You can say, this room filled up quickly. Have you taken a class here before? At a work event, you can say, there are more people here than I expected. How did you hear about this event? At a cafe, you might say, that drink looks good. Have you tried it before? If you are waiting in a slow line, you can smile and say, I think this line is testing our patience today. Is it always this busy? The small joke makes the moment lighter, but the question gives the person space to answer. At an online meeting, you can say, I like the topic for this session. What made you join? These openers work because both people can see or understand the same situation. For an English learner, it is useful to practice complete phrase groups instead of building every sentence one word at a time. Researchers who study language learning have found that familiar groups of words can support smoother speaking. You do not need to remember the research term. Just think of these phrases as small tools you can keep ready. Have you been here before? What did you think about it? How did you hear about this? Is it always like this? What made you choose that? Practice the whole phrase, not only the separate words. Then when you need it, your mind does not have to build everything from zero. Still, use the situation with care. Do not begin by asking a stranger where they live, how much money they make, or why they are not married. The place gives you a safe first topic. It does not give you permission to enter every part of someone's life. Begin with what both of you share in that moment. If the person answers warmly, you can slowly move forward. If they answer with one word and turn away, respect the signal. Good communication is not forcing a door. It is gently checking whether the door is open. So the next time you think, I have nothing to say, look around. The room, the activity, the weather, the weight, the class, or the event may already be holding your first sentence. A simple observation can also help you move from small talk to a more personal topic. Imagine that you say, this workshop is very practical. What brought you here? The other person may answer, I want to become better at speaking in meetings. Now you are no longer talking only about the room. You can ask, do meetings make you nervous? Or share, I used to feel nervous when everyone looked at me. The shared place created the beginning, and the answer created the direction. This is why small talk is not always empty. It can be a safe bridge toward a more meaningful conversation. Do not insult the first small topic because it is not deep enough. A front door is not the whole house, but you still need it to enter. Start where you are, then let the conversation grow one natural step at a time. Lesson 3, ask questions that open the conversation. A question can keep a conversation alive, but not every question gives the same result. Some questions have very small doors. Did you like the movie? Can be answered with yes or no. Was work good? May receive only, it was fine. There is nothing wrong with these questions, but if you want a fuller answer, give the person more room. Ask, what did you like about the movie? Ask, what was the most interesting part of your day? Ask, how did you become interested in that kind of work? These are open questions. They invite a person to explain, remember, or tell a small story. You can also use a simple question ladder. First ask about a fact, then ask about the reason. After that, ask about the experience. For example, do you work near here? Can become, what kind of work do you do? Then, how did you enter that field? And later, what do you enjoy most about it? You do not need to climb the whole ladder every time. One good step is often enough. The strongest question is often not the first question. It is the follow-up question. A follow-up shows that you heard the answer. Studies have found that people who ask more relevant follow-up questions are often liked more because they seem interested and responsive. Imagine someone says, I started cooking last year. You could leave the topic and ask about music, but a better response may be, what made you start cooking? If they say, I wanted to eat healthier food, you can ask, what was the first meal you learned? Now the conversation has a natural path. You are not pulling random questions from a bag. You are following what the person gives you. But be careful. A conversation is not a job interview, and you are not a police officer collecting a report. Ask a question, listen to the answer, react to it, and sometimes share something too. If the person looks uncomfortable, do not push for details. You can change the subject gently by saying, no problem. By the way, how are you finding the event? Real interest includes respect. It means you want to know the person, but you also care about their comfort. So do not ask many questions only because you fear silence. Ask one question that you truly want answered. A thoughtful question says, your experience matters. And when people feel that your interest is real, they usually find it easier to continue. Try to avoid questions that sound like hidden judgment. Why are you still doing that job? May make a person defend themselves. A softer question is, what has made you stay in that job? Why don't you speak more English? Can sound critical. You could ask, what makes English speaking difficult for you? The subject is similar, but the feeling is different. One question pushes, the other invites. Your tone matters too. Even a good question can feel unfriendly if you ask it with an impatient voice. Slow down and let the person finish. If they need time, give it. You want an honest answer, not the fastest answer. Better questions are not only longer questions, they are questions that carry curiosity without carrying pressure. Before we move forward, if these lessons are helping you, Please like this video and subscribe to English Ascent Daily. Your support helps this channel continue making simple English lessons that also help you grow in life. And write one conversation starter in the comments. It can be very simple. Practicing one real line is better than only thinking about 10 lines. Lesson 4. Listen for one small detail. Many people hear the words in a conversation, but they do not know what to do next. While the other person is speaking, they become busy inside their own mind. What should I say after this? Is my grammar correct? Do I look nervous? Because they are preparing, worrying, and judging themselves, they miss the answer that could help them. Good listening gives you the next part of the conversation. You only need to notice one useful detail. Suppose someone says, I moved to this city 3 months ago because I found a new job. That one sentence gives you several paths. You can ask about the city, the move, the new job, or the last 3 months. You might say, 3 months is still quite new. How are you liking the city? Or, was the move difficult? Or, what kind of work brought you here? You do not need a new topic. The person has already offered one. Think of each useful detail as a small thread. When you gently follow the thread, the conversation begins to move by itself. You can show that you are listening with short English responses. Say, really, tell me more. Say, that makes sense. Say, what happened next? Say, that sounds exciting, or that must have been stressful. If you are not sure you understood, you can check by saying, so, do you mean that you changed jobs? Or, did I understand you correctly? These phrases are useful because they help both your English and your relationship with the speaker. They also give you a little time to think. You do not have to create a long answer immediately. Sometimes a short, honest response is enough. Also notice the feeling behind the words. If someone says, I finally finished the course, their face may show pride. You can say, you look really happy about it. Was it a difficult course? If they say, I finished it, but it took everything out of me, do not reply with excited energy. Their words may need a calmer response. Listening is not only collecting information, it is noticing what the information means to the person. From now on, do not listen only for a chance to speak. Listen for one detail, one feeling, or one unfinished thought. The person's answer often contains the map for where the conversation can go next. Lesson 5. Share a little about yourself. Asking good questions is important, but if you only ask and never share, the other person may feel as if they are filling out a very long form. Connection needs movement in both directions. You do not have to tell a big story. Add one small detail to your answer, then return the conversation. Use this simple pattern: answer, add, and ask. If someone says, do you work from home? Do not only say yes. You can say, yes, I work from home. I enjoy the quiet, but some days it feels a little lonely. What about you? If someone asks whether you like reading, you could say, yes, especially short books about real people. I started reading more last year. What kind of books do you enjoy? Your small detail gives the other person something to hold. They can ask about working alone, loneliness, reading, or the book you liked. One extra sentence can turn a dead answer into a living conversation. Sharing also helps you find common ground, but common ground must be honest. If someone loves hiking and you have never climbed anything higher than the stairs in your building, you do not need to pretend you are an outdoor expert. You can say, I have never tried serious hiking, but I would like to understand what you enjoy about it. If you have a related feeling, share that instead. I do not hike, but I also enjoy quiet places away from the city. Now you have created a real bridge without acting like another person. Research on conversations has also found something encouraging. People often expect a deeper conversation to feel more awkward than it really feels. After the conversation, they may feel more connected and happier than they expected. This does not mean you should ask a new person about their deepest pain in the first 2 minutes. Move slowly. Start with interests, experiences, goals, and simple opinions. If the person becomes more open, you can become a little more open too. Say, I had a similar experience. Say, for me, it was a little different. Say, that reminds me of something I learned. Then keep your story short enough that the other person can return. Sharing is not taking the microphone and forgetting to give it back. It is placing one honest piece of yourself into the conversation so the other person knows they are not talking alone. You can check the balance with one easy question. Have both of us had room to speak? If you have been talking for several minutes, pause and say, but I have spoken a lot about myself. What was it like for you? If you have asked 5 questions and shared nothing, offer one related sentence before the next question. Balance does not mean measuring every second. Some people need more time when they are telling an important story. It simply means that neither person feels invisible. A warm conversation is like passing a ball gently. You hold it long enough to add something, and then you give the other person a fair chance to receive it. Lesson 6. Keep going when your mind goes blank. Every English learner knows this moment. You understand the topic. You have an idea. You open your mouth and suddenly the word you need has gone missing. It was in your mind 5 seconds ago, but now it has left without saying goodbye. Many learners panic in this moment. They believe the pause proves that their English is bad. Then the fear becomes bigger than the missing word. But a pause is not the end of a conversation. Native speakers pause, forget words, change sentences, and correct themselves too. The useful skill is not avoiding every problem. The useful skill is knowing how to recover. You can say, give me a second to think. You can say, I don't know the exact word, but it is something you use for. You can say, what I mean is, or let me say that again. If you did not understand, say, could you say that one more time? Or could you speak a little more slowly? These are not signs of failure. They are communication tools. Let me show you something. You do not need the most perfect sentence. Actually, the most perfect is not a good phrase. You simply need a clear sentence. See? A small correction happened, and the conversation is still alive. You can do the same. Do not give a long apology after every error. If you say, she go to work yesterday, you can calmly correct it. Sorry, she went to work yesterday, and continue with the story. Sometimes you do not even need to stop if the meaning is already clear. If you lose your thought, say, I lost my thought for a moment. Smile and return when it comes back. 2 seconds of silence may feel like a full documentary inside your nervous mind, but to the other person, it may simply feel like 2 seconds. Silence can also give both people time to think. Breathe. Look around for the last detail. Ask, what were you saying about your new class? Or use a safe question such as, and how has your week been? From today, practice rescue lines aloud before you need them. Your English does not become strong because you never fall out of a sentence. It becomes strong because you learn how to enter the sentence again. Remember this, fluency is not speaking without a single stop. Fluency is continuing without letting one stop defeat you. Lesson 7. Speak with calm and clear respect. You can know many words and still be difficult to understand if you rush, speak too quietly, or put 5 ideas into one sentence. When people feel nervous, they often try to finish quickly. Their words begin running faster than their thoughts. Slow down a little. Give each idea enough space. You do not need to speak word by word like a machine, but you can pause between thoughts. Use a comfortable volume. Keep your face open. Look at the person naturally, then look away sometimes. Eye contact shows attention, but staring without a break may make the other person wonder if they have something on their face. Your body is also speaking. Folded arms, a busy phone, or a face that shows no interest can send a different message from your words. You do not need to control every movement. Just try to look present. Put your phone away when the conversation matters. Turn toward the person. Let your voice show that you are not trying to escape from your own sentence. Clear speaking is more important than showing difficult vocabulary. If "I disagree" is the clearest sentence, use it, but give it respect. You can say, "I understand your point, but I see it a little differently." You can say, "Maybe we can look at another idea." You can say, "I may be wrong, but this is how I see it." If emotions become strong, say, "Can we talk about this calmly?" Or, "Let me explain what I mean." Confidence does not require an American or British accent. Your accent shows that you learned another language. It does not make your ideas smaller. Work on pronunciation so people can understand you, but do not wait to sound like someone else before you allow yourself to speak. Also, do not use confidence as permission to become rude. A calm person can be clear without attacking. A kind person can disagree without becoming weak. Before answering in a difficult moment, ask yourself, do I want to create understanding, or do I only want to win? That short question may change your tone. People often forget the advanced word you used, but they remember whether your voice felt safe, honest, and respectful. Speak so your meaning can reach the other person, not so your vocabulary can stand on a stage and receive applause. This matters most when the conversation becomes uncomfortable. It is easy to sound kind when everyone agrees with you. The real test comes when a coworker rejects your idea, a friend misunderstands you, or a family member speaks in an angry tone. You do not have to copy their energy. Take one breath and lower your speed. Instead of saying, "You never understand me," try, "I don't think I explained myself clearly." Instead of, "That makes no sense," try, "Can you help me understand that part?" Calm words do not guarantee that every problem will disappear, but they stop you from adding a second problem to the first one. Respect is not only something you give when a conversation is easy, it is a choice you make when the conversation becomes difficult. Lesson 8. End the conversation naturally. A good conversation does not have to continue until both people have no words left. Knowing how to finish is also a communication skill. Research has found that people often do not know exactly when the other person wants a conversation to end. One person may want to leave but continue because they do not want to seem rude. The other person may be doing the same thing. This is why a clear and warm ending can be helpful. Notice simple signals. The person may start looking at the time, giving shorter answers, turning toward another task, or saying, "Well, I have a busy morning." Do not take every small movement personally, but pay attention to the whole situation. You can say, "It was really nice talking with you." You can say, "I should let you get back to your work." You can say, I enjoyed hearing about your trip. I hope the rest of it goes well. At an event, you might say, I am going to get something to drink, but I'm glad we met. Online, you can say, thank you for the conversation. I need to leave now, but I enjoyed it. These lines are direct without being cold. A strong ending often includes one detail from the conversation. If someone told you about an interview, say, I hope your interview goes well on Friday. If they mentioned a new course, say, good luck with your first class. This small detail shows that you listened. If you would like to speak again, leave the door open without creating pressure. Say, maybe we can continue this another time, or it would be nice to talk again. If the conversation made you uncomfortable, you do not owe a long explanation. You can still leave politely. Excuse me, I need to go now. Take care. Respect includes respecting your own boundaries. The goal is not to make every person love you. The goal is to communicate in a way that is open, clear, and human. When you end warmly, you leave the person with a complete feeling instead of a sudden empty space. Sometimes the final 10 seconds decide how the whole conversation is remembered. So do not disappear in fear and do not stay until the energy is gone. Leave with kindness and let the conversation have a natural finish. Now, my friends, let us turn these lessons into action with a simple 7-day English conversation challenge. On day 1, practice 3 greetings aloud. Say them slowly until they feel natural. Hi, how is your day going? Hello, I don't think we have met. Good morning. How are things with you? You can practice in front of a mirror, but do not spend the whole week talking only to the mirror. On day 2, look around 3 different places and create one opening line for each place. It may be your room, a shop, your workplace, or a bus stop. On day 3, ask one open question in a real conversation. Instead of, was your day good? Ask, oh, what was the best part of your day? On day 4, listen for one detail and ask a follow-up question. Do not plan it before the person speaks. Let their answer guide you. On day 5, use the answer at ask method. Give your answer, add one small detail, and return a question. On day 6, practice the rescue phrases. Give me a second to think. What I mean is, and could you say that again? Use one if you get the chance. On day 7, try to have a 2 or 3 minute English conversation. It does not need to be impressive. It only needs to be real. Do not judge this challenge only by how many mistakes you make. Judge it by how many times you choose to try. Maybe one person will be busy. Maybe one conversation will end quickly. Maybe you will forget a word and laugh at yourself. Continue. Every small conversation gives your mind new evidence. It says, I can begin. I can listen. I can respond. I can recover. Keep a short note after each day. Write one line you used, one thing that went well, and one thing you want to try next time. Do not write a long report. This is speaking practice, not another reason to hide behind writing. After 7 days, you may not feel fearless, but you will have 7 days of real experience. That experience is more valuable than waiting 7 months for the perfect mood. Motivation can help you begin, but practice teaches your mouth, ears, and mind to work together. Small action is how a nervous learner slowly becomes a confident speaker. My friends, talking to anyone is not about having endless stories or perfect English. It is about being willing to begin and knowing what to do next. Stop waiting to feel completely ready. Use the situation around you. Ask questions that invite real answers. Listen for one useful detail. Share a little so the conversation moves in both directions. When your mind goes blank, use a rescue phrase and continue. Speak with calm, clear respect, and learn to end the conversation warmly. These are small skills, but together they can help you build friendships, work relationships, confidence, and stronger English. Your next conversation may not be perfect, and it does not need to be. The other person is human too. They may also feel nervous. They may also be searching for the next sentence. Your simple hello may make the moment easier for both of you. So choose one line from this video and use it today. If this lesson gave you courage, please like the video, share it with another English learner, and subscribe to English Ascent Daily. Keep learning, keep speaking, and keep rising one small conversation at a time. The end.